Picture back when you were a kid. You woke up and instead of loading up YouTube, you ate cereal and decided to turn on TV. Or come home from school ready to flip them channels since your parents actually paid for unlimited cable service. You had hundreds of channels to choose from, but you specifically only knew a select several. TV shows and movies that were like live events. You couldn't look it up, pause, fast forward, rewind, or save it for later like a streaming service, unless you had on-demand or recording features. You had to be there at a certain time to watch your favorite peak cartoon, live studio audience shows, or movies fully, with interrupted commercials that raped you every 5 minutes, showing sad depressing ass dogs in shelters, commercials that advertised toys and shit that we all asked our parents for, movie trailers, weird unexplainable ads, and sometimes terrifying national or state warning interruptions that played bone-chilling ass censor sounds telling us about weather or public emergencies. Them shit still creep me out even as an adult today. Shit was like a purge was happening. Or just listen to music channels that played peak songs. The batteries in the remote control sucked ass, so you had to whack the fuck out of it to get it charged up again. Or that's even if you had the remote found and not hidden within the abyss of the couch. Television helped raise us, even free non-cable television that was mostly scholar. And I'm gonna rehash on almost all peak movies, cartoons, and shows, and music channels us Gen Zers experienced growing up. And beware, I might forget some, as it's literally thousands of cartoons for the most part, so mention them in the comments if I forget. But let's begin. As kids, we mainly had channels that broadcasted cartoons that helped us learn about things, as well as providing entertainment at the same time, with morals to each story. For poor broke kids, we had free cable channels like PBS Kids, or Cubo, or Noggin. PBS Kids had Super Y, Word Girl, Word World, Dinosaur Train, Arthur, Curious George, Sesame Street, Sid the Science Kid, Wild Kratts, fucking Pete, Clifford, Magic School Bus, fucking Caillou with his little bald bitch ass, Bob the Builder, Barney, Cubo having Alfred the Hedgehog, Zula Patrol, Dragon Tales, and so on. Anyone who didn't have cable had these channels and watched all these peak cartoons and shows that taught them and raised them with entertainment. The shit mom and dad cut on to keep you distracted. But to those who were financially stable enough to have cable, had access to next generation peak cartoon and entertainment television. This is where channels like Nickelodeon came into the mix, Cartoon Network, Disney, Boomerang, and if you were older, FX had the cinema movies, MC or Music Choice had the music jams and all. Oh, and ABC/Freeform had the holiday and whimsical movies and shows. Nickelodeon had, in my personal opinion, all-time peak. SpongeBob, which was and still is for all ages, becoming one of the biggest IPs ever animated. Before Nickelodeon was of course Cartoon Network, I think. Boomerang and the OG Disney. Cartoon Network or Boomerang had Looney Tunes and the Flintstones for Gen X and Millennials, Powerpuff Girls, Garfield, Scooby-Doo, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Peanuts, but we'll come back to Cartoon Network. Nickelodeon besides SpongeBob had peak like Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats, Max and Ruby, Little Bill's Bald Ass, Jimmy Neutron, Backyardigans, Peppa Pig on Nick Jr., Ni Hao Kai Lan, and Yo Gabba Gabba, along with the Upside Down Show, which is insane elite level ball knowledge if you know about these shows. Nick Teen had Max Steel, Power Rangers, all the superhero shit. Nick Teen was basically the alternative to Disney XD, and also some show called Robot and Monster, Team Umizoomi on Nick Jr., Bubble Guppies, Wonder Pets. Nickelodeon and Disney had channels for different genres like kids and adults and teens. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Dora, Danny Phantom, Hey Arnold, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and for the live studio audience shows, they had iCarly, Drake and Josh, Big Time Rush, Thundermans, Henry Danger, Victorious, Game Shakers, Zoe 101, Full House and George Lopez when you wake up in the middle of the night, and weird ass brain rot shows like Fanboy and Chum Chum, Sanjay and Craig, or Breadwinners. Full House was okay, I guess. The movies were okay. Nick Choice Awards was peak sometimes, but now Cartoon Network. I will say SpongeBob and the live shows carried Nickelodeon, because if it wasn't for SpongeBob and the live studio audience shows, Cartoon Network would mop the floor with Nick. But Cartoon Network had Adventure Time, Regular Show, Peak Amazing World of Gumball, Peak Ben 10, Samurai Jack, Robot Chicken, and Mad on Adult Swim whenever it was time to go to sleep, Courage the Scary Ass Dog, Teen Titans fucking peak, Gravity Falls peak, Tom and Jerry rebooted, Steven Universe, peak Johnny Test, Clone Wars Saga, and for the brain rot, Annoying Orange and Uncle Grandpa. I don't know what an Uncle Grandpa is. I don't know if Kim Possible was on Cartoon Network or Disney first, but speaking of Disney, we had Disney Channel that played their set of sitcoms like Jessie, Austin and Ally, A Dog That Could Talk, What the Fuck is a Bizarre, Jenna Ortega debut, Liv and Maddie, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, That's So Raven, Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever the fuck it's called, Kicking It, Good Luck Charlie, Camp Rock, Shake It Up, Casey Undercover, which was Zendaya's Uprising, and for Disney XD, we had Lab Rats, which was fucking peak, Mighty Med, and moving on to the cartoons, we had Nick Jr. having, of course, the GOAT, Mickey Mouse in his clubhouse, Little Einsteins, Handy Mandy, the Bob the to build a ripoff, Chuggington, but that's the toddler cartoons. Disney XD once again had the peak teen cartoons. Peak-ass Kick Buttowski, Gravity Falls Peak, Phineas and Ferb, Ultimate Spider-Man, Fish Hooks, Randy the Ninth Grade Ninja, Star Wars Rebels, which could never live up to Clone Wars, but I rest my case. Crash and Bernstein Peak, hella Avengers show since Disney bought Marvel at the time. Telepeak. And let's say you wanted to watch a real movie. You hop on HBO or FX or some shit and watch some fire-ass superhero or action movies, or just cinema movies or other shows. Whether it be Marvel, DC, sci-fi including Star Wars, Star Trek, Aliens, Predator, Aliens vs. Predator, animated movies, shit like that. Or you wanted to listen to some music on music channels like Music Choice, MTV, VHR, etc., where music videos were in their prime. I know cable had features like on-demand or recorded broadcasts where you don't have to wait or worry about missing a show or movie or the news or sports. You can just go to on-demand and watch it now or whenever, and pause and fast forward or rewind whenever you wanted, or if you wanted to record a show hours in advance or during it, you could watch it later. See, this new gen alphas don't know shit about cable, bro. Streaming services of course now are more convenient, but back then when the internet was still young, television was peak. Freeform or ABC had peak movies too during the holidays, whether it be Harry Potter, Christmas movies, Star Wars again, you name it. I low-key miss it all. Television will always be a special part of my heart and who I am, as it raised me until I became chronically online and used strictly YouTube and streaming services. That's a lot of us honestly nowadays. Nobody watches TV no more unless you're old as shit, or watch the news or sports, especially sports. But yeah, I just wanted to reminisce over peak. Let me know if I forgot something, as I probably did, most likely, as I know television had thousands of shows and movies that we've all grew up watching. We just forgot. But I'll see you on the next video. Peace. Bitch, don't touch me.